Our expansive rainforests play a key role in our country's sustainable development path. Covering massive areas all around Guyana, the rainforest is home to an abundance of biodiversity. But among the many life forms thriving within these densely populated areas, there is a particular bird that soars above the highest of canopies and has made itself renowned as the fiercest predator in the sky. The harpy eagle is a creature that has evaded the detection by the most adventurous of explorers. Due to its preferable habitat of thick forested areas on the top of towering canopies, the harpy is one of Guyana's most elusive animals. However, in the northwest region of Guyana is the village of Warapoka, which has been inhabited by the Warao tribe for centuries. Warapoka is home to multiple nesting sites of the spectacular harpy eagle. But despite its forest full of magnificent life forms, Warapoka is a culturally rich village with an extensive history dating back to thousands of years when ancient tribes inhabited the area. The locals of Warapoka, who are descendants of the ancient Warao tribe, hope to use their rich heritage to establish themselves as a prime location for ecotourism within Guyana.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
To begin our journey for Warapoka, we first made our way to Parika. Parika is located in Region 3 and is considered a gateway to the Essequibo coastlands. Home to more than 4,000 inhabitants, Parika is famous for its Sunday morning market. As many as 500 merchants sell their produce at the market, and these include bananas, coconuts, plantains, and cassava, just to name a few. The area is recognized as a port township because it is known for its ferry service to Bartica, the Essequibo Islands, and our next stop, Supanam. From Parika is a 20-minute boat ride over to Region 2. We then arrived at the village of Supanam. Like Parika, Supanam also relies on the heavy traffic of boat transportation services as a driver of the village's economy. It is considered one of the busiest ports on the Essequibo River. There are dozens of passenger boats operating between Supanam and Parika, with some boats operating throughout smaller nearby communities, but on a smaller scale. Shortly after arriving in Supanam, we then took a bus en route to the town of Charity, located further into Region 2. Charity plays the role as a gateway to the northwestern reaches of Guyana's interior and into Venezuela. It is a strategic location for farmers who live in this area because they can transport their products here before transshipping to other townships. Over the years, Charity has grown and developed considerable infrastructure, making it easier for its residents to access goods and services that were formerly unavailable. At Charity, we boarded another boat and began our journey into the depths of Region 1, leaving behind the comfort any urban areas may have to offer. The journey from Charity took us up to the mouth of the Pomeroon River, where we then traveled along the edges of the mighty Atlantic Ocean. We then entered the Maruca River en route to the community of Santa Rosa. Santa Rosa is claimed to be the largest Amerindian village in Guyana and is a collection of small islands that are distinct islands in the rainy season when the savanna floods, But these islands are linked by paths and bridges during the dry season. Santa Rosa was our last stop for fuel before finally making our way to Warapoka. Once we left Santa Rosa, we entered the 99 Turns forest. 99 Turns is a mangrove forest, inclusive of different species of trees that cover the sky. The origin of the name is the 99 corners you have to turn to get through the dense forest. After almost an hour of darkness within this mystical river, an even more spectacular place emerges with the sunlight. Hey guys, so this is our first morning in Warapoka village. We had an amazing night last night. Great food, great accommodation. It's bright and early, 6 o'clock in the morning. And as mentioned yesterday, we're gonna go and look for one of Guyana's most famous animals, the harpy eagle. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Warapoka is renowned for its harpy nests. Actually, there's 2 in the area. So we're gonna go to the first one, and if we don't find a bird there, we're gonna have to move on to the second one. The first nest is about a 50-minute walk in that direction. So we're gonna take a long trail into the forested area to see if we can find that nest. The village, the Waros and villagers of Warapoka are already up. Over there we have some people taking their morning bath in the creek. So the village is ready to go, and so are we. So we're gonna go check out that harpy eagle right now. Here we go. The earth roads within the Warapoka village were all constructed without the use of any heavy machinery.
This is now where the pickaxe, we use it to dig and throw back the stuff on the road. That's how the road is
Gotcha.
level.
How long were they weaving this until they got to this stage?
This is like about 90 years.
The Waros in the village have historically relied on nature to provide for them in times of need. As we moved deeper into the forest, and I had a chance to converse with the village Tushao, it became obvious that nature has continued to provide even in times of scarcity. Okay.
But anyway, this stream, the longest dry season we had is about 5 months.
Okay.
And this never dry. This never dry.
This stream never dries up.
Flowing with the biggest dry season.
So this is a constant source of water for you guys then?
Yeah. It flow at the head, at the source of the creek. It flows from in between this hill and in this hill.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's coming from the hill.
Why do you think it's never dry?
Well, maybe is when you look at it, it is between the 2 hills and the water that flows.
Oh, there's a lot of runoff.
Yeah.
Warapoka is located in a heavily forested area, but this does not deter the Amerindians from continuing to harvest cassava, a very important part of their diet. So we may have already talked about, cassava being a very big part of the Amerindian diet. And as we can see here, we have about, on the way to the harpy eagle nest, there's about half an acre of land that's just been cleared and burnt. And already, cassava is being planted around. If we look around, we can see different, what do you call it? Mounds?
Yeah.
Like we did call it different mounds of cassava that's planted around the area. So, between all the cut down trees and the burnt wood, is where they're gonna be starting a small cassava farm within the village. How long would you say it takes for to harvest the cassava once you plant it?
It takes 9 to 1 year, depends. In the sandy area.
9 months to a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
They start like reaping from 9 to a year to 12 months.
Okay.
But in the sandy area, most people reap it at early age, like timing, like 8 months, 9 months. But in the, let's say in the we call it the high bush, it's gonna take 1 year.
Okay. Gotcha. And is it like the most, is it like the staple food of the village,
Yeah.
you'd say?
Yeah, this is the main staple in the village.
After a few miles of hiking, we spotted the first harpy eagle nest far off in the distance. The journey was far from over, and so were the many bug bites I was starting to receive. So, even an experienced traveler like myself, in these areas, you know, sometimes we get really, you know, bothered by the bugs. So luckily I bought my bug spray, and I'm gonna try and hit the few places that are open, that I'm getting eaten alive with. Just get some in there, quickly. Cutter, whoever you are, here's some product placement for you. Enjoy. I'll be waiting for my check in the meal. All right. So we're about 10 minutes away from the harpy eagle nest, right? So tell us about the harpy eagle. I mean, obviously, you know, we in Tongue know it as, you know, one of Guyana's giants, and it's just a phenomenal bird in any sense of the term of, you know, being like a special animal. So tell us something about the harpy eagle. Like how first of all, how high up is the nest within the tree?
Firstly, the name of the tree is the Buharada tree.
The Buharada tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a conker-like wood. And
okay.
The height of the nest from the surface of the ground is like 80 feet.
80 feet in the air?
80 feet.
Wow. But you said that the harpy, at least that nest has been here for about 18 years?
Yeah, 18 to 20 years.
18 to 20 years, that's crazy. But why would they stay so long in a nest? And is it even one bird, or is, you know, have different birds come back to that nest?
It's one.
It's one bird?
Yeah, it's one bird.
Why do you think that bird would decide to stay in that nest for 20 years?
Because what we notice is that it finds a lot of food.
Okay, so there's a lot of food in the area.
A lot of food.
What would that be?
The most of the time we saw it have like the squirrel monkey.
Okay.
In the class.
Yeah.
And sloths.
Okay. Wow.
And most of the time when we go below the nest, we find a lot of bones.
There's bones below the nest? Wow.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
And we have like head skulls and stuff.
Okay. It's from, I guess, from different animals that it preys on.
Yeah, like agouti, even birds.
Wow. And how old you think, like, I mean, there are two harpies within the nest. Yeah. Am I right? Is it like two adults and then a hatchling?
Yes, we have. At most time nesting time we saw the male and the female.
Right.
And at one time we saw the juvenile, but not the mother.
Okay. Okay, wow. Well, we're almost at the harpy nest, so fingers crossed it's actually there and we get to see what many people kill for. All right, so we're almost at the harpy's nest. To our left, to our right of the trail here, there's actually another trail that branches off and leads us directly to our first nesting location. However, before going through the trail towards the nest, we're gonna go to a spotting site. And what that means is that the spotting site is where we go to make sure the bird is still in the nest before we actually take the trail towards the tree it's located in. It doesn't make sense going to the nest when the bird isn't there, so we move on to, if the bird in fact isn't there, we'll just move on to the second site. So right now, we're gonna pass the trail and go around to the spotting site to make sure the harpy's there, and if it is, we go straight into the trail. How long is it for starting from this trail to towards the nest?
From this junction, we're gonna take 3 minutes to walk.
3 minutes. It's a 3-minute walk, not that bad. So let's go check it out. Straight to the spotting site we go. Here we go. So we're at the first spotting location, and if we look in the middle of the screen, we can see the harpy eagle's nest in the fork of the tree.
And right now it looks empty, so more than likely we're going to have to move on to the second nesting location. And if anything, maybe hit this one on the way back, and hopefully we get lucky. But it does not look like anyone's home right now. Probably going to have to move off. Alright, so we're on our way to the second trail right now. And ironically, towards the second trail, we have to cross, because we made a C route towards the first nest. Towards the second trail, we have to cross back the same Warapoka creek that we passed in the beginning close to the village. This was the same shallow creek that allegedly never runs out, and it's a lot deeper here, so you know there's definitely largest supply of water in this area. So once we make it safely across the creek and not fall in and wet all our equipment, hopefully we can see the next harpy in nest number 2.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
When you're making your way through the thick vegetation in the humid rainforest, almost every tree seems familiar. But then, there's one distinct tree that stands high among the rest. And at that moment, you realize you have arrived at something truly magnificent.
We managed to climb this large rock structure in the hopes of seeing the harpy in nest number 2. And if we look all the way up there, we can see the second nest. It's actually a lot more efficiently located than the first one. It's a little bit lower, but so far we haven't seen any movement inside. What I think is happening is that the harpy is probably out feeding or hunting or what have you. So, you know, I'm not sure when it's going to be back. So hopefully we're going to stick around a little bit, and hopefully we see when it comes back, and if we're lucky, we might even see it with some prey in its talons. Let's try and check it out. Unfortunately, we've been here a while, but no such luck. I guess it's probably still around, still hunting for food. We actually managed to see briefly some movement in the tree. The tour guides we were with said it could be a harpy. I'm not sure if we got it on camera, but not a close-up enough shot that we were hoping for. We're gonna head back to site number 1 and check that out, and hopefully the harpies that were gone there have returned by now. All right, so let's head over to site number 1 and see what we got. Alright guys, so we just came down from the top of the rock where we were viewing the second nesting site, and unfortunately we didn't get to see the harpy eagle. But right now we're at the bottom of the tree that holds the second nesting area, and there's one thing we found that not quite as good as the harpy, but very interesting. Right at the bottom here, at the base of the tree, is a bone. Look at that. This is harpy eagle lunch, and our tour guides are telling me that this is actually the bone of a red howler monkey, because monkeys are one of the main forms of prey by the harpy eagle. And this bone actually looks pretty clean, not yet decomposed, and I'm assuming the rest of him is up there in the nest. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any action go down, but this is very frightening in many regards. So I'm just gonna leave this right here, and we'll be on our way.
Not seeing what we came for was a bit of a disappointment, but when searching for such an evasive animal, it comes with the territory. The rainforest is an intricate and unpredictable environment, so there are countless hiding spots for the many creatures that navigate this area. It makes it even harder to spot the harpy because they're far beyond our reach on the forest floor.
Marunga Saramanaduai Dawat Warta Sotonai Dukoto Arahati Adai Ine Onai Marusam.
Like many settlements, Warapoka is subject to folklore and legends portraying the village's history. The huge granite boulders scattered around the area are an important part of Warapoka's culture. Legend has it that years ago, a young and fearless Warao child sought to explore the uncharted areas of her village. The granite boulders we see today were a prime location of unexplored crevices, only accessible by the young and innocent. Moving along to the tune of tribal melodies, the young Warao entered the opening of the largest granite rock in the village. As she made her way inside, a supernatural force pulled her under the boulder into the depths of the earth, and she was never seen again. From that day on, the folklore states that whenever a person passes the rock during the same time of day, they can hear the lasting melodies of the young Warao that once trod too far.
Dukoto Arahati Adai Ine Onai Marusam. Marunga Saramanaduai Dawat Warta Sotonai Dukoto Arahati Adai Ine Onai Marusam.
So, if you guys ever decide to come to Warapoka, and obviously the harpy eagle is a main attraction, and you don't always get so lucky to see such a majestic creature, but that's no reason to despair, because Warapoka is a tourist attraction for many reasons. As we've seen, there's been a lot of rock formations around, and actually right now we're at a huge boulder structure which is formed into a cave. And we're going to actually walk through the cave, and that itself is a tourist attraction. We're not exactly sure what's in the cave, for better or worse, but we're going to go check that out. So here we go.
Even though our first harpy expedition wasn't successful, the day was not lost. This was an opportunity for me to bond with the local villagers and show off some of my mediocre football skills. The kids of Warapoka were very friendly, and it was a very humbling experience for me when I was invited for a kick around. There's also a school within the village, and various Waraos of all ages play their roles of teachers who not only educate the Warao children, but play a key role in preserving the cultural identity of the village.
All right, so we just had lunch back at the house. It was a great lunch, very tasty, and we're on again. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the harpy eagle earlier today, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty disappointed, but I'm not gonna despair because the nest was majestic, the trees were awesome, and the trails were phenomenal to explore. So, as a tourist destination, so far, Warapoka has not disappointed, and I think it's a great place to go for anybody, especially Guyanese who want to get to know more of their country and Region 1. Right now, I'm on my way to go check out the shell mounds, one of the very famous Warao mounds in the area. It's actually a Warao symbol, so a cultural symbol. So we're gonna go check that out now, so stay tuned. We're on our way to the shell mounds. Let's go check it out. So we finally made it to the Warapoka Shell Mound. And this place is absolutely phenomenal. And I'll tell you why. If we take a look at the mound, we'll notice a naturally formed earth structure. And upon closer inspection, we can see that this whole mound is filled with tons and tons of shells. And the reason for that is because thousands of years ago, the Warao diet consisted solely of shellfish, or predominantly of shellfish, excuse me. It wasn't until 5,000 to 7,000 years ago when the Arawaks were migrating from the Amazon to the Caribbean islands was when they introduced cassava to the Warao community. But before that, as I said, the diet of the Waraos were predominantly shellfish, and this shell mound actually is believed to be a dumping site, or to have been a dumping site back in those days. And as a result, Waraos would bring all the shells that they used in their diet to eat and dump them along with many other things in this mound. What's even crazy is that all of the shells here are seashells. And the reason that's crazy is because we're nowhere near the sea. We're actually miles inland. So the fact that all these shells are here is absolutely mind-blowing. We have absolutely no idea what's hidden in these mounds. But what we do know is that it's a fascinating place to just come and think about how tribes before us have sort of went about their lives. And from these historical feats, we can continue to reflect on our own heritage as Guyanese people.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
All right, everybody, we've been up really early today since 5 o'clock. We wanted to get an early start to the day. Like we said, we were a little disappointed yesterday we didn't get to see the harpies, but we've been informed that there's a third nesting site at Lurie Creek. So we're on our way there right now. In addition to the third nesting site, Lurie Creek is also well known as a great fishing location, especially for the tarpon. Warapoka just got permission for tourists to go there and catch and release while they fish. So that's a huge step forward for the tourist industry within this community. So we're gonna go check that out right now, okay? Stay tuned, here we go.
Life has a funny way of surprising us with amazing moments when we least expect them. Little did I know that this was about to be the moment I had been anxiously waiting for.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.